All right, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So I meant to get around to these videos earlier this week, but unfortunately it's just been really busy for me, combined with the fact it has just been sweltering hot here. It's been kind of really hard to find the energy and the time to do these videos because I've just been kind of drenched in sweat. Energy has been drained, but I've been finally getting around to it. So we're getting around to Spy Family and Akane Banashi tonight. Akane Banashi's already been recorded, so we're getting around to Spy Family right now. There's no Kaiju chapter this week, so we'll have to look forward to that next week. Like I mentioned, expect read-throughs to come back sometime around June the 3rd, tentatively. I'll probably do something like a more formal announcement closer to that date. With that said, I'm really excited to dive into this next Spy Family chapter. I'll admit when I first saw Viz doing that, they were Shonen Jump doing their little preview splurge for it, I was very hesitant at first because just seeing like the little blurb text of what the preview was, getting more marriage drama stuff wasn't really sitting excitedly with me. But a couple of you commented on some of the older videos that apparently this is progressing the plot forward in some interesting ways. So yeah, we'll see how this chapter plays out. Before we get into it, I just want to thank everyone that did leave the comments saying they're looking forward to my reaction on this stuff. It really does mean a lot to me when you put stuff like that out there, because it really kind of inspires me to keep creating these videos. It kind of just lets me know that you like them, which really does mean a lot to me. So thank you all for that. If you haven't already, please do consider like, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Because those are all great ways to show you like my content and just like an easy, simple way to support it. But without further ado, let us get into it with Spy Family Mission 80 by Tetsuya Endo, with translation by Casey Lowe and lettering by Rina Mappa. And we see Yor just waking up in bed, looking all dazed and confused, as she hears the chirp. And then she has a startled moment as she remembers what happened last night. It's like, my memory's hazy, but did I make a complete fool of myself in front of Lloyd last night? She's thinking back to when she just backslammed her head into the ground. She's like, Gah! What do I do now? How can I possibly show my face in the living room now? And she's just blushing and getting all nervous. And then you have Lloyd just setting out breakfast for Anya with, hurry up and eat. You still need to get dressed. Remember, you're going on a play date with the Black Bell girl today. And Anya's just like, Zoo Day with Becky! And you see, hey Anya, and more importantly, a very good morning to you, Lloyd! As Becky just slams the door open, just like waving excitedly. And Martha's like, Miss Becky! And Lloyd's like, good morning. And Anya's like, how's it going, Becky? He's like, what did you have for breakfast, Lloyd? Would you like to join us? I had my chef make you a baked lung, Justin. Martha just clapping a hand over her mouth. She's like, I'm so sorry about this. And Lloyd's like, not at all. Thank you for taking Anya. He's like, Lloyd, can I? It's like, we're leaving, miss. It's like, come home soon, Papa. It's like, you're the one who's leaving. He's like, whew, as they leave. And you see Yor just kind of like sliding her way to the kitchen. He's like, oh, good morning. He's like, what are you? And she's like, oh. It's like, good morning. He's like, you certainly slept in today. Did you rest well? He's like, I'm so sorry. And Lloyd's like, she drank heavily last night, which isn't like her. She must have been having a good time, unless... And Yor thinks back to her coworkers being like, is having gripes about your partner normal? It's like, yes, hard yes. It's like, it's all the more normal when you live together. It's like, oh, did Lloyd just gripe about me oversleeping? The girls were right. Oh my God, Yor. She's just like, then that means I should have a gripe too. And Lloyd's like, could she have been drinking away her dissatisfaction with me? It's like, from that look, definitely. It's like, perhaps it's best I ask her directly. It's like, listen, Yor, if you have any concerns about our life here, please don't hold back. And Yor's like, it's true! All of it is true! My failure to express any gripes has become a gripe of Lloyd's! She's like, well... It's like, think of something. It's like, well, I'm not sure how to put this, but I have gripes about everything. Oh, God, that was just, oh, man, just looked at the next page. It was just, perfect comedic timing. You have your being like, I'll just say something vague to buy myself time. Lloyd's just super shocked and taken aback. He's like, what? He's like, huh? What did you? And she's like, I'm saying I'm not satisfied with our life together. And you see Yuri just making his grand entrance with a, yay, my sweet sister, I came by for an early morning visit. And then he does a shocked, what? Face as he hears Yor's confession. Any other time, whenever Yuri makes an appearance, I just be like groan and shake my head and be like, oh my God, no. But the comedic setup for this is just perfect introduction. The perfect catalyst to introduce into this is Yuri. So just, that was good. And he's like, Lloyd Forger, you bastard! What have you done to my sister? And Lloyd's like, he literally could not have come at a worse time. And Yor's like, Yuri, didn't you get hit by a truck and hurt your shoulder a little while ago? You should be home resting. It's like, that healed right up when I talked to you on the phone. More importantly, it's like, I warned you, Lloyd Forger, that if you ever made my sister cry, I would have you I would be extremely upset. He's like, Yuri, no, it isn't like that. It's like, it's normal for couples to have gripes with each other, so I just wanted to make our marriage look normal too. But I can't say that to Yuri. He's like, it's like, so then what is it like, Yor? Tell me so I can properly chastise this ne'er-do-well. He's like, wait a minute. If I can keep her angry at him, she'll finally dump him like I've wanted all along. He's like mumbling to himself. And Lloyd's like, you're thinking out loud. He's like, all right, Yor, let's get you out of this marriage. We'll go file the divorce papers right now. It's like, we're not getting divorced. And Lloyd's like, suddenly Operation Strix is in danger from a completely unanticipated direction. But it appears Yor does desire to continue our fake marriage, so this can still be fixed. He's like, Yor, have you been holding on to this grievance all along? It's like, no, just since yesterday. God. I love she's got like this cheerful smile on her face as she's saying this. He's like, since yesterday? And he's like, what did you do to my sister yesterday? He's like, you didn't do anything. It's like, she spontaneously developed a significant grievance yesterday, despite my not having done anything? What? It's like, this is bad. If she's upset with me at a visceral level, it'll be much harder to fix. It's like, no, calm yourself, Twilight. There has to be a reason. Try to remember. It's like, I can't think of anything. What sort of inadvertent oversight could I have omitted? We spoke briefly yesterday morning, but barely interacted outside of that. That leaves the possibility that she learned something about me when she went drinking with her coworkers, but I haven't had any contact with any of them directly. Is it possible that they learned of my true identity through Eastern counterintelligence? No, I mustn't jump to conclusions. And you see Yuri just going, apologize. I don't know what you did, but you're going to apologize to my sister, or I'll have you X. And he's like, yes, Yuri Breyer, you're correct. In this situation, one must first accept fault in order to calm one's accuser and gain the information necessary to begin repairing the relationship. It's like, I'm so deeply sorry, Yor. It's like, Lloyd, no, an apology from you is the last thing I want. It's like, I just wanted us to have some gripes. It's like, she's refusing my apology. Then that means, it's like, how dare you attempt to apologize your way out of this, you flippant louse? It's like, oh, shut up. It's like, I understand, Yor. You want me to show contrition through my actions. And I will. I swear to you, I won't ever make you suffer this way again. It's like, that's exactly the problem. She's like, why can't he just let me have this one little gripe? And he's like, huh? So what is the problem? It's like, yes, that, Lloyd Forger, is exactly the problem. He's like, oh, shut up. And he's like, Yuri, could you stay out of this? This is a marital issue between me and my husband. He's like, well, marital? He just collapses on the couch. He's like, you're and her husband. I'm the one who's in the way. And Lloyd's like, I mustn't let myself forget that he's in the State Security Service. I need to wrap this conversation up before Yor unwittingly says something to expose our fake marriage. And you hear the phone ringing as Yor goes to answer with an, oh, I'll get it. Hello, this is Mrs. Forger. It's like, Lloyd, it's for you. It's from the hospital. It's like, yes, hello? You have Dr. Forger, we have a patient emergency, chart number 1399. Excuse me. Please make your way to the hospital at once. And he goes, I'm sorry, I've been called in for an emergency. I have to go. He's like, oh dear, that sounds serious. And Yuri's like, now Yor and I can be alone together at last. And Yor's like, wait, could this be a new opportunity for a gripe? Oh my god. And she's like, even on your days off, you abandon your family for work. How could you? How could I ever be satisfied with the way you always put your patients first? He's like parroting a Sharon gripe. It's like, Yor's that eager to spend time with this loser? And Lloyd gets code on. He's like, I'm sorry, Yor. We'll talk about this when I get back. And he's like, a code 1399 is an incredibly serious incident. I still don't understand what Yor is saying, but I'll have to wait. He's like, I really am sorry, as he walks out. And Yor's just like, I think that new gripe sounded really normal. I bet now even Yuri's convinced that we're a perfectly normal married couple. And Yuri's like, something's fishy here. It's like, what? The way he ran off in such a hurry just now? He's cheating on you, Yor. No doubt about it. He's like, what? It's like, let's go follow him. He's like, we can't do that. It's like, you aren't worried at all, Yor, about your own so-called husband cheating? It's like, if we catch him in the act, I can have him locked up on the spot. Could this be an opportunity? Oh my god. And Yor's like, could this be an opportunity for an even bigger gripe? It's like, still some alcohol in her system. She's like, well, maybe just a little. And you see them just tailing him. He's like, you need to be careful that he doesn't notice you, Yor. It's like, tailing an amateur like him is trivial. It's like, believe me, I know how not to be noticed. And Lloyd's like, I can't believe they're following me. Even Yor? Probably best to shake them at the hospital. And Yuri's like, stay close but not too close. You need room in case the target suddenly stops. You can't stop yourself or you'll get spotted. It's like, you sure know a lot about this, Yuri. It's like, they just said that on some cartoon I watched with Chihuahua Girl the other day. And you see a thump as Yuri's captain is standing nearby. And he makes a little motion with the paper he's carrying. And Yuri's like, Captain? An emergency summons? Damn it, now of all times? And he's like, I'm sorry, Yor. I just remembered I had some paperwork and I forgot to file yesterday. He's like, huh? He's like, I have to run back to the ministry. You go expose Loy's infidelity by yourself, okay? He's like, I'm really, really sorry. And he takes running off. He's like, hey, wait a minute, Yuri. And Lloyd's like, what was that? Some sort of urgent business? He's like, but I have my own urgent business to attend to. And as he heads into the hospital, Yor's like, he just went into the hospital like normal. It's like, whew, this isn't a tryst. It's like, well, it's a gripe that isn't going to. It's like, what on earth am I doing? Shouldn't not having any gripes be a good thing? It's like, I'm going home. It's like, and now she's sober. And Lloyd's like, whatever that was, I'm glad it seems to have resolved itself. And you see Fiona reporting to him going, we have an extreme level 3 situation, Twilight. It's like, what happened? Wise HQ in Ostania has been trying to ferret out a mole. Yesterday they finally uncovered the culprit. However, by the time they identified who it was, the mole had gone underground. And right around the same time, numerous top-secret documents were taken from agency files. Among them was a coded map indicating areas of operational activity by Wise agents in Ostania. And some of the information contained within that document pertains to Operation Strix. If that were to fall into Eastern hands and be decoded, our lives would be in danger. And so, our Division 4 agent who's been embedded in the West is coming home to bring us some very nice souvenirs. However, Western agents are in active pursuit. Cooperate with Division 4 to secure the agent the moment they cross the border. Do not let Wise interfere. Oh, man. Alright, so it'll be interesting. I guess we'll go from thoughts from the beginning to the end. So I'm still not like a huge fan of like the whole like, marriage is like the whole like the chapters before this where it's like, marriage is a scam. It's all like unhappiness, everything like that. But I will say this chapter did capitalize on that very well, kind of like yours general naivete and lack of relationship experience, to have her get convinced that, something was absolutely wrong with her marriage if everything was too perfect. Like, how could this be? There must be something wrong with her if she doesn't have any gripes. And I love that being played off against Lloyd's perfectionism, because, again, this man has not had an actual proper relationship. Like, he still treats marriage like a mission, right? So he's going out of his way to make sure, like, there's absolutely nothing Yor could complain about. And I love how his perfectionism just backfires on him because of Yor's naivete. And she's just kind of like, oh, I have to be normal, I have to be normal. So I think that really kind of helped help with the comedic stuff in this chapter compared to like the previous few chapters. Like I mentioned, absolutely perfect comedic timing with Yuri's entrance being timed right to Yor's confession of like, oh, I'm not satisfied with our life together. This is the one time where I'm like, I haven't been annoyed by Yuri interrupting something to air out his grievances with Lloyd. So that was all just good stuff in general. But with that said, I'm curious about what's going to happen with this, like the main plot that we're finally getting back to the main plot again, because it's kind of a weird segue into the main plot to kind of have it go from like the marriage thing to like Yuri and Yor trailing him, Lloyd to work, and then having to be like, oh, Operation Strix might be blown because there was a mole in the agency. Is kind of like a weird tangent to kind of go off on, but it does make me wonder if like Yor having gripes and stuff is like it's actually going to be a hindrance to this mission, like, because now we know that given what was it, given what the mission is, like the seriousness of the mission, like how, given the seriousness of the mission, given the fact that Lloyd's probably gonna have to spend like more time at work trying to find what the agent is, I wonder if Yor is unwittingly gonna make like the grievance of like, why are you at work all the time? How come you're not hanging out with me? I wonder if that's going to be like a real hindrance to Lloyd's actual mission to try to find the mole. So we'll see if that actually gets tied in together or not. But yeah, apart from that, again, because me and my friends have been kind of hoping for this for a while. So I hope if this does happen, like the whole like marriage, like grievance stuff does come in, like if it does pose like an actual danger to Operation Strix, I hope this does lead to Yuri and Fiona meeting and kind of like finally starting to team up to try to break up Lloyd and Yor. If this is like the first like crack in the facade, so to speak, if this is like the first like little bit of leverage that's going to widen like and create an actual rift between them, I think this would be kind of like a good entry point for both Yuri and Fiona to finally team up and kind of like widen the rift so they can go to kind of get their own desires, where Fiona's like, I can take over as Lloyd's wife from now on, and Yuri can be like, yes, I'll finally get my sister away from Loy. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, I think this was finally a much better chapter than the ones that came before, minor grievances aside. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to play out from here. So like I mentioned, Akane, Banashi, and Spy Family will be both out on the channel tonight. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, expect read-throughs to come back around June 3rd. I'll have a more formal announcement closer to that date regarding what's coming back on what days and stuff like that, so look out for that. Like I also mentioned at the beginning, if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, all the people saying give me comments have really meant a lot to me, so if you'd like to do that, that would be great. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.